Well, it's miserable cold and snowing, but I'm going to work on a tractor. So sure, we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man, and we've been trying to sort out the wiring of sadness on that white because something is not right. We put a new key switch in and got it to start from the key. However, our wiring is still not correct. Either it's not in the right place or there's still stuff melted and it's not letting it do the thing. Let me move up a little bit. Now you can see it in all its glory. So the weather is not cooperating with me at all. It's snowing miserably. It's also supposed to get bitterly cold, like below 0, and it's going to stay that way for like 2 days. And then it's going to get up to be like 50 degrees, because why not? Why not have like a 50 to 60 degree temperature swing? Why not do that? That's really good for everybody, including myself, who now feels under the weather. So just a 20 degree temperature change was all it took to make me feel bad. But that is neither here nor there. So the last time we worked on this thing, we had a lot of it sorted out, but we were down to thermostarter. We had 2 wires that go to that, which if you don't know what that is, it's got like a little heater element in the intake manifold. It squirts some diesel fuel down in there and then lights it on fire. And you essentially have a fire going in your intake manifold, and that helps it heat up and start going. So we needed a switch. I could not find any record of what type of thing was the switch for the thermostarter. The owner's book is not clear enough that you could see what it looked like. But I did find this. This is supposed to fit a Fiat somehow. It's kind of bizarre because I would assume what this is, that this is really supposed to be mounted in something and like you push a lever and it hits it. But we're going to use it as a push button because it will work that way. However, we're confronted with all these terminals. So what to do? Well, sitting here in the truck, I decided, why should I rig up a battery and test light and all that when I got this little doodabber that you just touch these together, you can hear it beep. So I started going around, and you look at how the terminals are laid out. Well, if I go to, it's hard to do because I'm looking at the camera to try to do all of this. All right, if I go to this one, I'm going to run out of hands here quick. And this one, that means it's on right now. But if I push the button, it stops. So those aren't the 2 we want. We want these 2. Because these 2, it does not beep immediately. But then if you push the button, well, if you can hold the things on and push the button, I swear to you, it works. I'm just there. So now, that's what we want. We want those 2. It has like an O, and then it's got a word here. So the opposing terminals are what we need for this to do what we want it to do. All right. It actually does help having the windows and doors on this because it's keeping some of the nonsense out. I also wonder to myself quietly, this thing that I found in there the other day, did that have something to do with this at one time, like the old one? The world may never know. So we would go to this one, and then there's my other black wire. We'll go to that one. And I assume all this is it's just a heavy duty push button switch is why. Although it doesn't look very good in the hole, does it? Like we really could use a washer. but it'll be fine. Oh, that looks beautiful. We just need to probably get some kind of tool and tighten that. I know what I'd like to have, but I don't know where they are, and that's the red pliers. Red pliers. I don't know where they are right now, but that's how that's going to be. And it's oh, sorry. I mean, that's live-withable. Maybe I'll go get a machinery bushing at some point and fix her up. The only remaining hole in there, I think, is supposed to be for like a 12-volt power outlet, which you already have the cigarette lighter, so I'll probably just get a rubber plug and put in that hole, because I'm not going to be doing any of that anyway. What else have we got here? What's this? Oh, that's the PTO shield, I bet. I bet that's been mangled and... Okay. Now, as for the rest of our problem, I sorted through fuse box wiring, and I believe that the reason we're having some trouble is because we've got these wires not plugged in to anything. What I don't understand is, like, based on the lights that come on, this headlight thing comes on instead of the charging light when you turn it forward. And I think that two of them are switched. And I looked at the wiring diagram, and I kind of know which two I think it might be, but it still doesn't make sense, because you're supposed to have power, like both things get their power from the same place. But if this wire is meant to jump her over to the next one, that might be what my issue is. So I need to have the book out whilst I'm staring at it like this. It's really not very handy to see what's happening, but see, like here, is there a place there for something? I don't know. Oh, okay. They're jumpered together. So it's possible that something came off of each end, or something has just come loose off the top. And what I would guess is that things have come loose off of everywhere, and the last guy or somebody at some point just started plugging stuff in and then got it in the wrong place, and they couldn't figure it out. They put a key switch in, and they finally messed around with it till they got it to run, and then they couldn't get the start, so then they put the push button in and just went one to the other. Let me grab that book, and then we'll hook the battery up, and we'll do a quick perusal here and see if we can figure it out. Believe me, I know this is boring. I don't enjoy it either, but it's something that I need to do if I want this to be the way that it should be. And there's no good way to do all this and have enough room to do it, because we're crammed up in a cab. But if I look at this, I should have, what is M? M is brown. See, that's another thing. All of the colors use Italian names in the book, so you have to go by a chart to know what's what. And then the other thing is, we need to know, like, okay, M, and then B is white. I'm wondering if in the book the upside down is right side up, because there's white, there's brown and white, and those are jumpered together in there. M and B. So M we said was brown. See, that's not in the right place. The brown and the white one could possibly be flip-flopped, and that could possibly be exactly my problem, because I think those are the two that would be sending power differently. Let's look at what else we have here. H and N is gray and black. That skips one and goes down, that's good. V and N is that would be green and black. And then we have N, which is black, which we don't have there. We have red and blue, which I don't go. So that would be like L. It'd either be L or A, and R. L or AR. AR is light blue. Okay, V and N was green and black. We had that. We had the H and N, that was gray and black. Then we have this one, which is AR, blue and red. And then there's supposed to be an M, which came off of that one that was all three together. And it's supposed to be brown, and it's not hooked up. So see, that potentially is a problem too. There's a missing wire on that one, on that last fuse position, which would mean that none of this stuff is working. But we need to figure that out, where that was, in a minute. Right now, I'm going to switch these two. I think the brown one needs to go here. According to my diagram. Okay, we're going to struggle. That's okay though. I should have known. Oh, it's so cold it's hard to maneuver. See, this could very easily have happened. Like, they could have very easily gotten pulled out of there. Come on. There we go. I hope we got it. Oh my goodness. It's very frustrating. The way this is mounted in there makes it next to impossible. We're losing feeling. Losing feeling in our fingers. Son of a Knudsen, friend. There. Now the first one's not really hooked up, is it? I think it is. I think the plastic just fell down. Okay, now I'm going to hook the battery up and turn it on, and I'm going to suspect that that fixed my problem. Oh, that hurt. Okay, first test. Is there billowing smoke? No, there's not. Second test. It did fix my problem. Now the first position, turns that on. My horn should work. It does. Beautiful. If I turn it backwards, then I get that for some reason. I don't really know why. It must automatically come on whenever you... Okay, yeah, if I turn the light switch on, that comes on. So that is working correctly now. So that, my friends, was our whole problem. Was that those two wires were switched. Just like I suspected, there had to be two that were in the wrong place, and that was causing our issue. Now, does that mean we were out of the woods yet? Not really. Because we still have two dangling wires up here, so we need to try to sort that out. We already decided that, what did we decide? N was the black one? No, N was M is brown. B was white. Yeah, okay, so we're starting from that way. So it's mirror image different. So we're going to start from here. N is black. We have a black one there. The next position is C, which is orange. And I don't know if you can see that, but there is an orange there. But we have this blue jumper, which puzzles me here. Now, AB would be light blue and white. AB needs to go to the next one after that. You see that? C, we have N and C, and then AB. And I don't really understand why AB is actually coming from... Now snow is getting on my book. AB is coming from this 21 single pole power point. Okay, so it is powered in. That black wire is powered in to like the cigarette lighter and that other thing. So now we need to flip this around gently so we don't jar anything loose. Oh boy, it's gonna be hard to see. It's that way for me too, so don't worry. But that light blue jumper needs to be in between the two wires that are still there, which the next one should be V, which is green. And I don't know if that's really what is there. I can't see. No, that looks like gray. V is gray. No, V is green. So there might be a problem there because H is gray and it would be the next one. Okay, no, there's room. There's room. Yeah. Okay, so one of those two terminals gets that green one. But we're going to have to very gingerly, or not green one, the light blue. The light blue. Yeah, in, and then C, which is orange. The C and the AB are on the same terminal. Because you can't see, but those are like joined together. There's like two at a time. Like there's, each terminal holds two spades. So we need to gently figure out which ones are barred to what. It'd be those two. And then the orange, it would be the one right next to the orange, would be this light blue. Oh, man. This is a struggle bus. And this may be a warmer weather project here. At the very least, what's going to happen now is things just won't work. Maybe, until we get that point. Because I don't know if I can safely do that or not. Nope. I need to get feeling in my fingers, A, and then B, I need a time when I can what am I trying to say? I need a time when I can get that pushed on there. Come on. Might have got it. Okay. I did get it, I think. Believe it or not. Now we're left with a double green. One of them looks like it's green and black. I guess they'd both technically be. No. Or are they just green? Just green is V. There's two wires, and it goes in the next section after that. Okay. Man, I'm all crippled up here, and I can't get it. Okay, let's see what we got. Now that V, you actually skip a terminal, and then you go to V, and on this tractor, I have yellow and black going in there. Now that would be yellow and black would be G and N, and they don't happen for a while. So I'm saying, I am supposing that either some stuff is not hooked up right yet, which it's not, I bet you. That blue one is not hooked up right at all. That blue one, the light blue. Yeah. So this went somewhere else. That was a jumper wire, and that doesn't go there where that went. So we had N, then we had CB. No, that was right. Dang it. It just was in a different order. But that should have went there. So that one didn't really go there. That would have went to our power point, which that seems like a very light duty wire for a 12-volt power outlet. But that's what happened. So I pulled that off now. That's great. Because the black would have been a different terminal if they're barred together, because there was one on the end I didn't see. So then orange and light blue and white was there. Then we had V for green. So the green one actually goes where I just had the other one. And then we have gray, and then we have the yellow and black. It's making sense, friends. It's just a very slow process, and you don't want to do something dumb like I just did. I got carried away with the order of things, like orange. Oh, see, now I just pulled the wire off of something else. That's the other risk you run. Oh, boys. I want it to be in the right order, so I guess I'll struggle bus it. Alright, now, can I reach that green one without pulling more wires loose? Oh, the key's still on. No. I did something very wrong. Oh. That wire got hooked up on something else and started shorting it out. We don't want that. Actually, the more I think about it, I might pull that blue wire back out for now, because it's hot all the time, and we don't need a hot all the time wire dangling that's not doing anything. Oh no, I've pulled so many wires loose here. That goes there. White one goes there. Red one goes to 50. Alright. We should be back to the way we need to be. According to my book, that's what was wrong. I like it when things work out like I thought, because now if I turn the key on, I get alternator light, and that gives me power to everything else. If I turn the key backwards to accessory, that comes on for some reason. I don't get that, but maybe they figure if you're sitting in accessory, you want the park lights to come on, because they have stuff much like a car, you know. Let's poor thing, it keeps getting cold starts, but let's give it a cold start so I can test my new theory. Let me make sure that I am in neutral. Let's put you where you can actually see the smoke come out. Probably not going to do it. It's freezing cold today. No. I think we better just call her quits for today. All I did there was crank my battery down. But everything's working in the correct position, and that is thrilling, friends, because I sure was not having any good luck with it. And yeah, I don't even know where my jump pack is. I think it's in the shed over there with the 550. So anywho's, that is thrilling. It may not be for you because you don't like wiring videos maybe, but we finally sorted out the mystery of why I could not get anything to work correctly. And the only thing left on my instrument panel that's not kosher, and see, now even that works, right? Oh, I took the battery cable off, dum-dum. The only thing I don't have is a 12-volt lighter or a 12-volt power port. Maybe I'll get one to stick in there just so that it's got something in that hole. But basically, this panel could be put back in now because everything is the way that it's supposed to be. And that is a good thing. Now, I'm getting to where I can't hardly feel my fingers, but I'm going to put you at a weird angle there so I can set this back on. Maybe. So that, I don't really get the rubber strap thing. I guess that makes sense later on, but right now it's been kind of an inconvenience to me every single time. There we go. We definitely need to work on this cab and get it re-braced up so it's not sagging so bad. And we hung the doors on, sad as they are. But I did talk to a local glass shop and they said they can get tractor glass cut to whatever shape I need. So I guess what I'll do, I don't have a lot of stuff that's good. And it needs a windshield, but that's going to be a later's problem because I will have to drive it in there, I guess, for them to do that, or take it on a trailer or something. Plus, I don't know what it's going to cost. So I was thinking about taking them both doors and maybe the back glass first, because the back glass is probably the worst by far. But if I took them those, they are easy to get off of here, and possibly we would then have some idea of what glass is actually going to cost me to get it custom cut. But it has to have glass in it. And I'm not a fan of plexiglass, and the reason is this right here. This is a plexiglass piece someone made. It's faded, it's scratched, it's just not, it doesn't hold up. It's not the same as glass. This piece is surprisingly nice still. So I'm sure that when I haul it, I'll end up accidentally busting it out, and then it won't go. And that piece of glass is good. So I have 2 pieces of glass out of all of them. And what's sad about that story is, if you look back at all the times it sold in the past 2 years, the first time the glass was fine. So this has happened along life's way. Like somebody thought it'd be real fun to beat the glass out of it just because they could, you know, and that's what's happened here. You know, they probably thought they were going to get rid of that cab, so they just beat the tar out of it. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it was all busted up the farther back you go. But I asked him about what it would be, because I don't want huge shards cutting my face off, you know, if they would break. And this is a laminate glass. That's why it hasn't come apart. In other words, there's a layer, protective layer over it. It's like 2 pieces of glass glued together somehow, or it's got a plastic film over it or something, so it's holding the pieces in place. But that is different than safety glass, which is like in a car where it busts into 10 million little pieces. So I'm okay with this as long as it, you know, holds it somewhat together. So one of these days, when I get a minute, I will take off. Maybe I'll even take this up there too, because it needs that, and that looks like that could be got off of there. But I mean, if it's $100 a piece of glass, I mean, it might be more than that. Maybe I need to just pump the brakes on that and be careful. But I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of glass, not counting the windshield. And the windshield will probably be expensive, or more expensive, I don't know. But some glass is better than no glass, so that's why we'll just leave that alone and hope for the best. But we'll get both doors fixed up, because this one's, yeah, we might forget about this for now and then take the back one, because it's got an actual hole in it from the destruction. So that's what I'm thinking. There you can see some of the laminate together. We still got to figure out that hinge setup, how we're going to make that work. I got to thinking, if I just notched that piece out the problem is then the whole window could vibrate loose if you had it open. It could vibrate off the pins. So I don't know yet what I want to do. Maybe I'll just notch it out and not worry about it. Maybe I'll grind the end off and put a pin through that you can put a cotter pin in both ends. That's just a very bizarre design I don't think I've run into before, where you couldn't get it back off again because of stuff and things. So, and I don't know that that piece was added. I guess it could have been, and they could have done a really nice job. And then, you know, like they added it over, I assume that's an air filter under there, or air intake. Maybe they added that later. Like I said, I looked up this company, and I don't believe they make cabs anymore, because nowadays your tractors obviously manufacturer specific cabs. They don't. It's not like the old days where you got an open one and you thought you wanted to put a cab on it later. You either have a cab or you don't. So another bizarre feature of this, which I don't really understand, is how they make the doors hinge two different ways. Is that not bizarre? I mean, that one hinges open to the front, or the front opens, and this one opens back here, but there's a handle hole there. So did somebody modify this in some way? I don't think so. I think this is just, I think what it is that the doors are the same well, that doesn't make sense either, unless they would be, and I don't understand the geometry here. I was gonna say maybe the doors fit either way, and it's just fooling the eye how they look so different, but I don't think so. But this door's obviously had a very rough life. Stuff's been welded on it and whatever. It does look like stuff was cut off there. So maybe they did change this door, and maybe it was supposed to open this away like that. And there, the problem that you would have there, why they would have done that is, if you flopped it open, it would hit the wheel. You know what I'm saying? That can happen on the four-wheel drive tractors too. If you aren't paying attention, have the door open and you articulate it, it'll catch the corner and mess it up. But I'm looking at it now, I'm wondering if they didn't modify this for whatever, for that reason, you know. And this cab really, it really hinged the other way, didn't it? It hinged the other way. You can see the grind marks. They knocked the two hinges off, and then they spun it around backwards. That actually, that's actually kind of a feat of engineering, really, to do what they did and then get it to match up so perfectly. So, I mean, that's kind of, I'm kind of impressed at how good they did with that. However, I'm not impressed because now I kind of want it back the way it's supposed to be, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it, friends. I think I'll just go with what they did and be done with it. But I would say that was a homemade mod, and they didn't do a terrible job, I have to say. I mean, one hinge there, one hinge up at the top, and they made it happen. I mean, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, see, here is the reason why they did it, I bet. Too many times they hit the wheel, you know. I bet while they were driving it was hot, and they left this door open, and there was a strap that held it, and then all at once the strap broke or something happened, and it would really mangle the door. So they went back the other way. Boy, I don't know. I am super tempted now to put that back the way it's supposed to be, but that's a lot of work for a cab that I don't really like. And the only reason I'm leaving it on there is because of the warmness of it, you know, in days like today. I mean, we'd have to do it. I don't know. This is not very good thought out here, see? That's another reason why I would be tempted to put it back the other way. You can see where they cut that hinge off, and you can kind of see up top where they cut that hinge off and ground it. They did a really good grinding job though. In a lot of ways you can't see. Here you can. You know, where they cut through the welds. But that definitely is a homemade mod. So, interesting. So I might wait on this piece of glass for this door, because if I'm cutting and welding, it certainly would be better to not have glass in it. But I might just go ahead and do that, put it back the way that it's supposed to. Because, I mean, seriously, do we really want it? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. See, you can see that side used to be against the wall. That's so cool. I mean, somebody's modification to make it better. I'll think on that, because I hate to I'm so impressed by how they did that I didn't see it till now. In other words, it's not a total hack job that you walked right up to it and realized, hey, somebody ruined this. So, plus I would be inclined that might accidentally happen to me where it catches the wheel, but I guess you just drive with the door closed. Of course, if you had it this way, you could have, even like what they have up there, just a chain that would hold it and keep it from hitting the thing. Of course, you wouldn't have much room to get in. If you're a big boy like me, you really need it all the way open. So, I don't know. The moral of the story is, this door's getting glass and so is the back. And from there, we'll see what we can accomplish. This one's missing something. So this would be the worst one, driving in the cold. If we get that fixed in the back, it would be a pretty good windbreaker. So I guess we will call this a success. And we definitely, I'm so happy we figured out that wire situation, and that's all it was. So now we can move on to just other things, making it a little better as we go. We definitely need to, at some point when it's warm, we can't really do it now in the bitterly cold. It needs fuel filters changed, it needs oil changed, it needs a service, which it has not had. So that's where we are. I'm happy we sorted something out that we needed to, and we're heading on the right path. So our rare little feller here is going to get a new lease at life, hopefully. You know, if we really get to where we like this thing and it's wonderful, we might even figure out how to put air conditioning in it, you know. We just might do that. I could get one of those RV air conditioner unit things or something, or universal kits or something, and we could have us some air conditioned cab. But in the wintertime, windbreak and then possibly heater would be super nice. So that's on the agenda. Not that we're going to use it this winter, but that's where we're headed. And the biggest hurdle was solved today. We sorted out the wiring issue. So I think we'll quit while we're ahead, and we'll leave this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.